The Time Specs 3000. Dear Grandpa, I just got back from our class field trip to Washington, D.C., and I have a lot to tell you. Going to Washington helped me decide to run for class president. I owe it all to your invention, the Time Specs 3000. In a nutshell, it helped me get some helpful advice about my problem. I intend to tell you everything when I visit Saturday. But for now, I've pasted my field notes into this email so you can understand how well your invention worked. Field notes, day 1. I use the TimeSpecs 3000 at the Washington Monument. Our guide accompanies us everywhere, and while she's talking, I put on the specs. The design needs tweaking because my friend Ken whispered, "Nerdy shades, dude." Immediately, I'm seeing the monument in the past. I am watching the ceremony when they laid the cornerstone in 1848, and everybody's wearing large hats and funny old fashioned clothes. When I take off the Time Specs 3000, I realize my class is heading out to lunch, so I run after them. Field notes, day 2. We are back on the National Mall, which is nothing like Brookfield's mall with all its stores. This mall is outside and has a long reflecting pool. My teacher is finding it hard to tolerate some of my classmates' immature behavior, which includes running around throwing pebbles in the reflecting pool. I'm getting kind of weary of all the noise, and I'd rather learn about history on my own. So I put on the TimeSpecs 3000 and check out the Lincoln Memorial. I see how dignified Lincoln's statue looks and wonder if I could ever help people like he did. This starts me thinking again about whether I should run for class president. Suddenly, right out of the blue, I hear this voice. "Excuse me, young man, you're thinking of running for president?" I look up and realize that Lincoln's statue is talking to me. It's so overwhelming that I stand there speechless for a minute. Finally, I stammer, "President Lincoln?" "Maybe you should first run for mayor of your town," the statue says, "or perhaps for governor. Once you get the hang of being in public office, you could run for president." "Actually, it's for president of my fourth grade class," I say. The giant statue nods. "That's an excellent start." I figured while I have Lincoln's ear, I should get some advice. I have a problem. I hate writing and giving speeches, and my opponent, Tommy, is great at both of those things. "What kind of campaign would you run?" Lincoln asks. "I have lots of ideas for our school," I tell him. "For instance, I want our school to use fruits and vegetables from the local farmers market in the cafeteria. I also want to start a book drive for our school library." "There's your speech," he says. "Tell people your ideas with honesty, integrity, and enthusiasm, and you can't possibly go wrong." "Thanks, Mr. President," I say. "I think I can do that." Grandpa, I can't wait to see you on Saturday because I have to tell you about our trip to the Natural History Museum. Your grandson and future class president, Miguel. P.S. I would advise not wearing the Time Specs 3000 while looking at dinosaur bones.